Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Vidyapitha Vidhataram Vidyavaridhi Chandiram Vidyarthi Vatsalam Vande Mahamahima Sadguru. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. In the previous part, we learnt about Vasudeva's impermanent devotion towards the Lord. Not only his devotion, we understood his extraordinary skills in learning at the time of Aksharabhyasa. We understood his great skills in understanding each and every aspect in depth, be it Shastra or whatever. His knowledge was like an ocean itself. He was an ocean of intellect. The miracles shown by Vasudeva at the stage of infancy itself and even early childhood age, all this depicts how much devotion, how much strength, valor, sportsmanship he had since childhood itself. Once it so happened, Vasudeva's mother, Vedavati Devi, she had to go out for some work. The cats in the surrounding area used to cause a lot of troubles by spilling over all the milk, eating away all the curd. They were facing utter poverty issues that time. So even a drop of milk was a big matter to them. Hence Vedavati Devi assigned a small duty to Vasudeva. What was the duty? She assigned Vasudeva to look after the milk and curd so that the cats do not come and cause any troubles to them. Vasudeva, small boy, he sat there for some time. As usual, he got bored. What to do next now? He cannot leave beside the utensils of milk and curd simply because he was assigned a small duty by his mother. He simply went outside, bought two huge stones. Those stones were literally the size of a pillar, if you assume it. Huge stones, and closed the utensils of milk and curd so that the cats not come and spill over them. Vedavati Devi, after some time, she arrived and she was literally stunned because a small boy who was aged just 4 years old, how could he carry so much weight? How could he carry those huge stones and cover the utensils of milk and curd? From this itself, we can understand that Vasudeva's valor, Vasudeva's strength was no way less than Lord Bhima. And another instance. Vasudeva used to take holy dip in the holy waters of all the tirthas in the Parshurama Kshetra, Parshu Tirtha, Bana Tirtha, Gada Tirtha and Dhanus Tirtha. He used to wake up early in the dawn and visit all the tirthas and do his take holy dip in the waters and do his daily course, daily ahnika. It became his daily routine. Vedavati Devi used to stop him every day because a small boy, irrespective of summer, winter or rainy season, whatever, he used to pass through very dense forests and go to the ponds. One day, Vedavati Devi stood strict and did not allow Vasudeva to go outside the house because it was very cold outside. Vasudeva, what did he do? He couldn't refuse his mother and go. What did he do? With a small stick on the Ishanya side of his house, he dug the ground a little bit. From the ground itself, a heavy flow of water emerged immediately, and that pond came to be known as Vasudeva Tirtha. The waters emerged from the ground so much that it became a pond itself. That Vasudeva Tirtha is full of water even today. If you visit Udupi near Pajaka Kshetra, we get to see Vasudeva Tirtha even today. It is said that Vasudeva alone, he said that the Sannidhana of all the tirthas in the Parshurama Kshetra is we can find it in Vasudeva Tirtha. So one who takes dip in the Vasudeva Tirtha gets the punya of taking bath in all the tirthas of Parshurama Kshetra. At the same time, here Vedavati Devi also felt upset because she was the one who created hurdles to Vasudeva's sadhana. Such was the devotion and depiction of himself towards the Lord. Like this, similarly, Vasudeva, he performed many miracles at his childhood itself. As we all know, Vasudeva was an ocean of intellect. So let not the evil eye cast any harmful eye on him, or let the speech of people show up a bad eye on him, what we call it as drishti dosha. Madhyageha Bhatta decided to do thread ceremony to his son Vasudeva. Vasudeva attained the age for his Upanayana. So, on an auspicious day, in an auspicious hour, Madhyageha Bhatta very joyfully, with very high ritual solemnity, performed the thread ceremony, the Upanayana, to his son Vasudeva. Here, this scene is explained very beautifully by the poet Narayana Panditacharya in Sumadha Vijaya. The poet explains that this function was not only attended by a wide circle of family members, friends, relatives, and whosoever, but at the same time it was even witnessed by the devatas, gods from the universe itself. The celestial beings, the devatas, they witnessed this scene and they were completely amused because the instructor of the whole world, for him, instructions is being given by the Guru. Such an irony itself, right? The instructor to the whole world, Lord Sri Hanuman, to him, instruction is being given by his Guru to observe the vow of celibacy and codes of conduct in order to study Vedas and allied literature. Vasudeva set an ideal of a true brahmachari. His parents, Vedavati Devi and Madhyageha Bhatta, were very much proud of him. They were very much happy and they were very much proud about his son. Vasudeva also performed his daily Sandhya Vandana and Agni Karya timely without leaving anything. He proved to be an ideal brahmachari. All the devatas like Sheshadeva, Garuda Deva, Rudra Deva, Agni, etc. are all bhaktas of Vayudeva. Vayudeva was the superior most among all the devatas. All of them prostrated themselves on the holy feet of Vayudeva. But when Vayudeva was born as a normal human being in this Bhuloka, he prostrated himself on the feet of his Guru. From here itself, we are familiar with the saying, when in Rome, be a Roman. The same way, Vayudeva, who was the Jivottama, the superior among all the Jivas, the ones with the soul and body, though he is being adored and worshipped by all the devatas in the Devaloka, when he himself was born as a human being, he prostrated in front of his Guru. He showed that one should prostrate themselves in front of their gurus in order to attain knowledge, which makes us the way to attain the moksha, the salvation. He visited the Gurukula. He used to go to Gurukula. He underwent Gurukula Vasa in order to attain knowledge from the Guru in a holy and spiritual way. So, as a normal student, being a normal being, he studied all the Vedas, all the scriptures under his Guru. Though he is the master of Vedas, he never showed any arrogance. He simply mingled up with all his classmates, with all his other students. He participated in all sorts of games and sports, and no doubt he excelled in all of them. No wonder he showed a great valor, strength and sportsmanship. Vasudeva not only showed his intellectual skills, not only showed his skills in aspects of learning. It seemed like he was the same Hanuman of Treta Yuga and Lord Bhima of Dwapar Yuga, because he scored victories everywhere, be it battlefield, mock fighting, wrestling, weightlifting or any other demonstrative field of physical strength and valor. From this, we can understand that Vasudeva was a multifaceted personality. He just not only showed his intellectual skills in aspects of learning, at the same time, he showed his strength in sports and his great strength and valor in all the fields of physical strength. In the Gurukula, the Guru often observed that Vasudeva never used to pay any attention. He never used to do the work given to him, assigned to him. He never used to repeat the lessons, but always remained in a cheerful and playful mood. He mistook that. Vasudeva, when inquired, he honestly told the Guru that he got bored of the lessons which were already previously taught. We have already witnessed this at the time of Aksharabhyasa. So the Guru immediately who got anger, he asked him to repeat the lessons taught by him. Vasudeva simply nodded, and at the same time he Guru expected that Vasudeva would run away out of fear and accept his mistake. But to the utter surprise of his Guru and of the whole Gurukula, Vasudeva gave a splendid demonstration of his erudition by chanting with perfect accents of all the Vedas and Swara, not only the portions taught by him, but also the portions yet to be taught. From this, the Guru understood his mistake, and he grasped that Vasudeva was not simply a normal human being. Vasudeva and his friend once went to a nearby woods. In the midst of the forest, suddenly his friend developed an acute and unbearable torturing headache, which was incurable in any which he couldn't cure in any way. Vasudeva cured the disease in an instant by blowing a puff of breath in his ears and gave him permanent relief. It is said that his friend was none other than the son of his Guru. At the close of his Gurukula Vasa, his end of his Vedic studies, Vasudeva offered Guru Dakshina in a very unique way. He offered Guru Dakshina in the form of a confidential Upadesha about the edifying ideas and ideals of all the Upanishads, Vedas, and all the scriptures. This supreme knowledge inspired the Guru an unlimited spirit of bhakti, leading his way towards the moksha, towards the salvation. Thus, Vasudeva, after completing his Gurukula Vasa, took leave of his preceptor and returned home. The third chapter of Sumadha Vijaya mainly concludes with the narration of Vasudeva's childhood, his many miracles, how Vasudeva prostrated himself in how Vasudeva's thread ceremony took place, his prostration towards his Guru, and mainly Vasudeva, after the end of his Gurukula Vasa, he felt the divine call to put down all his materialistic duties aside and take the holy sannyas ashrama in order to preach and restore the true knowledge of Vishnu and establish the Madhva philosophy, the supremacy of Lord Vishnu. This preaching was on the shoulders of Vasudeva. He understood this divine call and he immediately left away all these materialistic pleasures. The incident set forth in this chapter, from this, it is which we can generally relate this all to many of our households today. The ideals shown by Vasudeva as a true brahmachari, as a student towards his Guru, states as how a general life has to be led. The childhood scenes in the avatars of God and his deputies carry great significance. Firstly, from the incidents we can understand how an ideal life has to be led. Secondly, Secondly, we all the devotees, all the bhaktas, they are drawn towards the Acharya, towards the philosophy of Acharya. More than once, the poet emphasized the importance of constantly remembering the Supreme Lord even in the household duties, which is very much essential today. Because we all are familiar with the saying, work is worship. In the work itself, if we remember Lord, if we constantly remember the Supreme Lord, even the general work we do becomes worship. But nowadays, today, it has become completely opposite. Worshipping the Lord has also become a bit of work today. In this heavy pressure of work and duties, worshipping the Lord, it has also become time bound. Even worshipping the Lord has also become a work today, which must not happen. So therefore, this is an easy way to approach the Lord in our busy lives today. Therefore, we must often recall the words of Madhwacharya in our minds, the Leelas of Acharya, the miracles of him, and draw ourselves progressively nearer to him day by day. Let us know how Madhwacharya, how Vasudeva, how he approached Achyuta Prekshacharya and took sannyas ashrama and became Madhwacharya, and how he preached the world his philosophy in the coming part. Thank you. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.